Aulani, Disney's resort in Hawaii, has quick-serve, fine dining, Dole Whips, and character meals, and we're taking you to see everything we ate as a gluten and dairy-free pescatarian family. After the long flight to Honolulu, we arrived just in time for dinner at the Olelo Room, which was a perfect balance of a calm sit-down setting without being stuffy. Olelo means language, which makes this a perfect start to all the learning about Hawaiian culture you'll do at Aulani, starting with adding some Hawaiian words to your vocabulary. My kids were excited to see one of their favorites, sushi, and we relaxed and enjoyed the live music provided. We got gluten-free tamari for dipping and a mix of traditional sushi, as well as an interesting vegan roll. If you're a sushi fan, this is a great stop. The next day, we were making the most of the Aulani pools, so we just needed a quick grab-and-go option for lunch. We headed for Ulu Cafe, where they have an impressive pastry display. Including some gluten-free options. But all of these contained dairy. But Dole Whips to the rescue. We'll never be mad about a Dole Whip. Just don't get the vanilla swirl if you're avoiding dairy. The pineapple flavor is vegan. Back at Ulu for a proper lunch, there are grab-and-go salads, wraps, and tons of fruit. But we placed an order to accommodate our diets. So for lunch, we went down to Ulu Cafe. It was very busy because it was raining a little bit, and so there's only a few tables there, and people were standing, waiting, staking out tables. But we wanted to figure out what the allergy ordering process was. So we kind of looked around and got a sense of what we thought might work. And we were told to go to the registers and start off ordering there and order our allergy food, and then they would bring it out to us. And when we got to the register, they had enough questions about what works for us. Since it was 2 allergens, they wanted to be double sure that they actually called the chef to come from the back and just talk us through. The kids got the catch of the day with a couple of simple sides, some apple slices and some broccoli. The catch of the day is tuna. Nick and Asher got poke bowls, which again is tuna. And I unfortunately have a tuna sensitivity and it makes me sick. So as a pescatarian, that means I'm gonna be eating basically gluten-free vegan for our restrictions if I can't have tuna. So for this location, all their salads are pre-made and all of them have either meat or cheese or both on them. So there is no vegan salad option. I couldn't do the poke bowls or the catch of the day. I probably could have worked out an acai bowl, but instead I got the chia cup, and it's hearty and is probably going to stick to my bones better than I suspect. So I'll be in good shape, and I stole some of the kids' broccoli. But if you are not interested in tuna, or if you're gluten-free vegan, it's a little tricky. We spoke with the chef. He told us what was safe, and then we had to go back to the registers to place our order and get that sent to the back. So the kids' fish was prepped in the back and brought out for us. The poke bowls were prepped along the poke bowl line there, but we let them know that it was an allergy order, and they took precautions to make sure everything was safe. And they even showed Nick the packaging on some of the toppings and let us decide for ourselves if we were comfortable with those items or not. The chef said that their fries are not gluten-free, but if you do want gluten-free fries, you can order them off the pool menu. So We didn't do that because, again, it was raining, so we ended up bringing our food back to our room to eat because we have such a nice dining table and real silverware and stuff. So we took advantage of having our own space. It does seem like tuna is the most common option throughout all of Hawaii. It's not specific to Aulani, but just for me, since I can't have tuna, that's a bummer because I'm so used to everything. Usually places will have salmon as an option. And they didn't here, but they did last night with the sushi, and I expect there will be more here and there of other fishes, maybe a mahi. We'll see.
Aulani is located within a gated resort area called Olina. The shopping center across the street isn't affiliated with Disney, but it's super close.
Okay, so the best and easiest way to walk over to the Olina resort area is make the left out of the building as you would if you were going to the guest parking area, and follow that path along and then past the guest parking area and keep walking on the path, and you'll end up on the main street, and then you kind of make a left and head over to the shopping center area.
We ate at the Olina Center twice. First, at Tropic Poke. It was great for a quick, fresh seafood and sushi option with some good allergen awareness. A few days later, we went back to try Farm to Barn Cafe and Juicery. I would encourage you to ask about additional options here because we were so impressed with what we got, like this smoked salmon bagel made on a locally sourced gluten-free bagel, or this beautiful smoked salmon salad grain bowl. The flavors here really surprised us. We also found a local bakery that made gluten-free and dairy-free cupcakes in Honolulu. But that's going to be part of our Honolulu video, so you'll have to learn about these little beauties over there. Off the Hook may just be my favorite poolside view ever. The kids also liked it, but mostly because they made a friend. But this beautiful setting is a little piece of paradise for your casual meal.
Good morning. We are here at Off the Hook, which is normally the pool bar and what I'll call like lounge dining. So Ulu Cafe is really your quick serve dining in the way that you would think about like a deluxe resort, almost like a food court or a quick serve restaurant at a deluxe resort. Whereas Off the Hook is a little bit more like when you can get snacks and meals at a lounge. Now, here at breakfast, it really is like a sit-down breakfast, but not table service to order. So you go up to the bar. The line took about 10 minutes or so to actually place an order, and then they give you a number, and you sit down at tables with really stunning views. So it's kind of lovely. And then they come out and they serve you your food. We ordered with a set of allergy restrictions because we are gluten-free, dairy-free pescatarians. But they were able to handle that at the register, so they didn't call over a chef or anything for what we were asking for. One quick note, on the Mickey waffles, they come with meat, which doesn't work for us, but they did offer to substitute in scrambled eggs, which actually works really well for us. So that's what we did.
Order for Laura.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
And if it's too early for a grown-up drink, but you want something tropical for your breakfast, I got the passion fruit iced tea. It's yummy. They use a passion fruit syrup, so it's sweet. Perfectly beachy for these views. So pretty.
Thank you.
Those look like the allergy ones. you excited? This omelet is fantastic. We got onions and mushrooms in it, and it is so yummy. The potatoes are really, really beautiful and simply prepared. Here's the hint. I didn't put salt on any of it. You know how I love to add salt to things when they need a little more flavor. So, no, they're great. I think the Mickey waffles are really well prepared. We're waiting for our avocado toast because they had to redo it. There it is. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
There we go. The first time it came out, there was a little feta on top. So now we are good. We got 2 orders of waffles with the sides of scrambled eggs. And we got the omelet and the avocado toast. Now, was the avocado toast 3 slices?
Yeah.
Okay. It was
So-
the first time it came out, it was 3 slices?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's usually 3 slices or if gluten-free bread is so little, they give you a bonus slice. So I can't speak to if the regular gluten toast is 2 or 3 slices. And an order of Mickey waffles has 4 waffles to it. So with the scrambled eggs, we can split that for 2 of our kids. 4 dishes is good because we were all really hungry this morning, but most days we could probably get away with 3.
If a full breakfast is a lot for your crew, remember that Aulani is a Disney vacation club, meaning many of the villas have full kitchens, and you can prep your own breakfast in your room. We show you how we went grocery shopping and utilize the kitchen in our room tour video over here. Right next door to Aulani is the 4 Seasons at Olina. So we ventured over one night for dinner at Mina's Fish House by Chef Michael Mina. The setting is elevated, but still manages to be laid back, and with some of the most incredible food we had in our time in Hawaii. We started with an incredible crudo and roasted peppers. Then Nick and I got the scallion and ginger broiled whole fish with long beans to share.
I haven't even tried the fish yet. The Chinese long beans are incredible.
The kids got a simple grilled fish fillet.
Here's your fork.
A quick word on Mina's restaurant. I will say the Four Seasons doesn't do itself any favors in the way that they publish their menus online for their restaurants. They only give a handful of items, they don't make it very clear, and they say at the bottom, just ask about allergens. I will say the menu at Mina's was probably the best labeled allergen-friendly menu that we encountered on this whole trip, but you wouldn't know it from what was online. But I actually use menus online as a good proxy to try to determine which restaurants have a lot of good allergy awareness. So I will say, if you're considering going to Mina's and you have any kind of dietary restrictions like we do, don't take a pass on it. There's not only lots of options, there's actually an incredible amount of awareness and substitutions ready to go. And I actually think it was a great solution for our family.
Most of the off-the-hook lunch menu, which also doubles as the poolside menu, is burgers and fries. But to accommodate our diets, they made some more simple fish dishes, salmon for the adults, and catch of the day with a choice of sides for the kids.
Just saying to say, the burger is an Impossible burger, but she said it changes all the time between Impossible and Beyond. And had it been Beyond, I would have gotten a gluten-free, plant-based burger. And they served some buttermilk ranch dressing with Nora's veggies on our kids' meal, even though it had an allergy stick in it. They paid attention to one allergy, I guess, and not the other. Always be vigilant. Always advocate for yourself and trust your instincts.
But what if you're down by the beach and you want a sweet treat without going all the way up to Ulu Cafe? Little Opihi's is a stand down by the lagoon, and they have you covered with more Dole Whips. They only had pineapple when we were there, but we hear they do rotate other vegan flavors as well.
Whoa.
We were so excited to try Ama Ama, the signature dining option at Aulani. Nick had been here before and let me know that we were in for a treat, as if this view wasn't enough to completely knock me out. Nick got a specialty old-fashioned with an ube ice cube, and as the ice melted, the ube flavor intensified and was really delicious. And purple.
There are two menus here at Ama Ama, not counting the kids' menus. There's a regular menu and there is a vegan menu. So they came by, and the vegan menu, basically, the first 3 courses, works completely as is. So Laura ended up going with the vegan menu. And then they walked through the regular menu, and with a couple of modifications, they were able to make the regular menu work. So I am getting a local island catch, which is a kampachi, which they said was sourced from the Big Island. So it's also a local catch. It's not being flown in from some farm in the North Atlantic or something like that. So that's awesome. The one challenge was from a dessert perspective. None of the desserts were really going to work, so they are getting us sorbet and berries for all 5 of us. The sorbet flavors that were available were strawberry, guava, and passion fruit. And kids all went strawberry. Laura went passion fruit because she's a passionate person, and I went with guava just to keep things interesting. It's exciting that it's not the, strawberry, mango or raspberry that you get any other time you have to order sorbet. It sounds like they're house-made sorbets. No bread course because the gluten-free bread that they have has dairy in it, which is sad. Well, not the amuse-bouche that they almost served us, which was goat cheese and pork lardon, and we said, no, that's probably not for us, and so they took that away. As far as the kids go, which was really cool, when they came in, they said, we already got water boiling for them for some gluten-free pasta, but there's also a local catch, which they could have had, but they all had a lot of fish for lunch today, so we opted out of that. So they're going to do the vegetable crudité and a small salad and pasta, and they took care of them that way, and they're going to get the same sorbet that we have. The salad is off menu, the pasta is off menu. That all was to navigate our restrictions. It's great. So we also had the manager stop by to say hello, just to voice the fact that everyone's aware of what our restrictions are. And they also said, you're in good hands with your server, but if you want to speak to a chef, you're more than welcome to. But we felt completely safe with the discussions we had. The kids menu is for ages 3 to 9. Our amuse-bouche was a shiso leaf with avocado and slice of cucumber and
Melon.
Oh, was melon on there? Mm-hmm. Melon, so that's what the sweetness was. Okay.
Yeah.
With saffron threads on top, so some high quality ingredients there actually. But the shiso leaf is interesting. It had this real lemony sharpness to the leaf.
I think the saffron was what came through for me, but it almost had like a cumin or
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was refreshing. The avocado had obviously that creamy, rich mouthfeel. So it felt more substantial, frankly, than most amuses.
It looked like a few little pieces of veggies, but it had a more complex flavor than I expected. The kids' amuse is decidedly less interesting. The chickpea spread with ginger, I was like, let's see if this is just hummus. And it's hummus, but it's elevated because the ginger was not too hot. I was worried it was going to be spicy, and it wasn't. It was just this perfect little touch of complexity to the hummus. And I was really surprised at those taro chips. They're a very, very fine, delicate waffle cut that made really delicious chips. And Asher said, that looks really good. And so I ended up giving him about half of it because it was so yummy. And even kid approved. Big kid. Big kid with a good palate. Approved.
The salad had a lot of very fresh, locally sourced vegetables to it, which were nice. The thing that was really interesting, though, was this like multiple layers of interesting flavor profiles. There was this green goddess dressing, there was lots of citrus fruit, there were a couple pickled vegetables, there were these crunchy radishes, like a watermelon radish. There was also this like chia seed dressing that it all just kind of came together with like lots of different flavors mixed together. So it was really good.
Glazed mushrooms that look like they could be pork belly. These mushrooms. So I don't know if I really have ever had pork belly in like a soy glazed pork belly kind of preparation. I don't know that I've ever had that. But the idea of this is to be a vegan version of that. So to have a plant-based flavor that is so rich and meaty. The manager did say that there are couples where, you know, one of them will get the pork belly and one of them will get the mushrooms, the soy glazed mushrooms that I just had. And they often agree that the mushrooms are the better of the two, and I totally believe it. The sweet potato puree was a little unexpected, add a little sweetness, but there's some heat to it. There's like a real zip with a little bit of the pepper there. It's perfectly composed. Oh, and I love that they said the watercress and many of the veggie elements are sourced from right here on the island. There seems to be a lot of that local sourcing going on. It was too much for him. He conked out.
The crudo was really good. It was very meaty. I know sometimes if you get, depending on what kind of crudo you get, it might almost taste like light or thin or like paper thin. This had like a real meatiness to it, so it felt substantial. And also, similar to what Laura was saying, how some of the greens that were on top of her mushrooms were locally sourced. I'm really feeling, so I've been here once before, but it was like a decade ago, and I really feel like there is much more intentionality around locally sourced items, certainly more so than I recall last time, which I think for this level of experience, it really calls for it. So I'm thrilled to see that because I think it compares nicely to other restaurants of this caliber in this area or on the island. So I'm really good so far.
The kids were very happy with their pasta option.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's so pretty. Oh, it smells so good. There's so much going on in here that every bite almost tastes different. You'll get one that's really beet forward or one that's really squash forward. But there's these bananas, the chia. There's these greens. Are they bok choy? Are they broccoli rabe? The stalks are almost asparagus-y, but those are just the stalks. There's some pickled veggies. There's so much going on. You have to kind of mix it up and get the spice and the curry in there because it's all down on the bottom underneath, but it is really flavorful. I have a sleeping child in my lap, so Nick's gonna have to do a selfie.
So Laura, I think undersold her curry a little bit, although I didn't get to try every bite. I just had one bite. But part of what's really cool about it is the black sesame, which is what I got on it, which I thought was really tasty. I had the kampachi prepared, the cooked version of it. So I had it for the crudo. Actually, kind of like, I feel like we've had a situation before where we had like fish prepared in two different ways. That's essentially what this was. And it was on an asparagus salad with a celeriac sauce.
Grab his pasta.
Had a child fall asleep in their pastas, so at least we got one of the three is still awake, which is good because we can't carry three. It's not possible. I'll just say it's well seasoned, well cooked piece of fish. That said, I think Laura, with her 3 courses, I think was probably the winner.
It was good. What does sorbet taste like?
It's like fruit, sugar,
Stop.
and ice mixed together.
We're so tired. We can't talk anymore. We're so tired. Good night.
You may be wondering about the Aulani Luau, and we did attend it, and got full details for you on gluten and dairy-free options. But that's a separate video you can find over here. And hey, if you're finding this helpful, could you give this video a quick like? Thank you! It wouldn't be a Disney vacation without some Mickey waffles and a chance to meet all our favorite characters. Makahiki offers a character breakfast that made a sweet farewell on the final morning of our trip. First up, photos with the #1 guy, Mickey Mouse.
I almost told Mickey that he was Dad's boss. That's what I was gonna say.
Hey Max, how you doing? Doing the high note.
We got to meet Max Goof, Pluto, and Minnie, as well as live music from a ukulele player.
Thank you very much.
You got a friend in me. Yes! It was at the tip of your tongue. You're about to say it, I know. Okay, let's see another one. The seaweed is always greener. Somebody else
In the sea.
under the sea. What movie?
Well, what's the name of the movie?
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid.
I'm just pointing out that our trip began and ended in exactly the same spot. Because our first dinner was here at the Olelo Room, right there. And our last breakfast is right here at Makahiki.
The brownie is slightly warm this morning, so it's the same one we had last night at the luau. But it's still chewy and dense, but it's not like when you microwave something and it cools off and then it's almost like too hard. That's a little bit of what it was last night at room temp, but this warmed up is really lovely. With a little fruit on top, it's nice. Traditionally here they serve Portuguese sugar donuts that look amazing, but obviously we couldn't have that with our allergy restrictions, so this is a pretty good start.
So I got the Mickey waffles because when in Rome, it's not Rome, again, and it normally comes with some kind of a meat. I got the vegan sausage. I don't know if it's Impossible or Beyond, but I'm not too worried about that. And a beautiful bowl of berries. They've been very berry forward here with a lot of the fruit plates, even the like opening fruit plate that we got here. So do I really need a brownie and 4 waffles as my breakfast? Well, you know, head back to life tomorrow.
This omelet doesn't sound very exciting or look very exciting, but the flavor is so good. Between the mushrooms and the asparagus, I was really surprised. I thought it was just gonna be like peppers and onions, standard veggie omelet fare, but the flavor's really well developed, and honestly, it's a little underdone. And so it almost has a meltiness to it that you would expect from an omelet with cheese, but there's no cheese. The potatoes are good too. Oh, they're getting a picture. They'll see you in a second.
Oh! Oh!
Bye! Missed it, there it is. There!
I couldn't believe our week was over. But this doesn't even start to cover all the fun we had and food we ate on our North Shore driving tour. So come back next time for all the details on that. And we hope you'll subscribe to join us on all our adventures. Thanks for watching, travelers. We'll see you next time.